my whole story is the beginning of this podcast. You feel me? Like
Dope.
Me putting myself out there, me talking about generational trauma, childhood trauma, all of those things.
That's fire.
They don't think you could do it, but tell you to try when they talk. All I hope had to keep it alive. Spend a day in the Bronx, but you wouldn't survive. Can be low when I pop out, they know I've arrived. I go have conversations with Zoe, he gon' tell me pull up and come say what you know. I've been up, I can count all them days in a row. We don't say what we do, we be making the show. They say I'll be
the voice of the Bronx. We have Bronx name, but the guys are out here. Can I get a
yeah. Leave them all right where they at. Try to diss me, I bet I don't even react. Put a show on, I bet you somebody gon' I pick me a book up and drink me some water, invest in the stock. All
right, peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Zoe. We are here with hip hop royalty. You know, it's a legendary day. You know, it's a surreal day. You know, being here with someone you watched growing up, and now you're interviewing them. You know, so Jojo, what's good, my guy?
Much love, brother. Much love. I appreciate you having me. I'm feeling great. I appreciate you having me. I see you've been doing numbers. You've been doing your thing out here.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having me on here, and let's have a good one, man. Let's have a good time.
I appreciate your consideration. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty simple. You know, we got in contact. We made it happen. So we're going to go a couple different places. But before we do the rollout, aren't you glad that they raised a hustler and not a hater?
For sure.
I like that.
Yeah. That was an
IG caption. Right?
Yeah, one of my IG captions. Yeah. Right. I mean, that, you know, obviously that's not my work. I got that from Biggs Burke's page, but
right.
It stuck out to me because know I feel like my pops, my family, they never raised me to be a hater. They raised me to be a hustler. You know, no matter the situation, no matter what I go through, I ain't gonna hate on the next man's success. I'm gonna applaud that man and, you know, let it motivate me.
Right. So, husband, dad, entrepreneur. At 3isfor, intentional storytelling to elevated, underrepresented voices and event production to cultivate community.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little about 3isfor.
Oh, man. 3isfor is one of my new babies. As in companies, I'm a co-founder, actually, with two friends that I know from high school when I moved to Jersey. Right. And, you know, we all came together, and when New York went legal in cannabis space, we, you know, did what everybody wanted to do. We thought we wanted to get a license and sell weed, but as we started, you know, as you start any business, I think you should go educate yourself in that business, research things, and know where you can make money and where you can bring value to. So where we thought we could bring value once we went to all these like Hall of Flowers and all these like different events, we're like, who's doing the content behind the stories for the cannabis, especially as it goes legal in all these different places? Who's covering the content? So we provide content not only for ourselves, but for other cannabis companies. You know what I mean? And we also want to give a spotlight to Black and brown people in the communities that don't get the opportunity to really make money in cannabis or kind of get the license. So we're supporting people like that. We're supporting women in cannabis, and we're really just supporting the community of cannabis.
Right. Alldadhats.
Yeah.
Right? Another one of your projects, another one of your ventures. Tell us a little bit about it.
So alldadhats, it originally started as Daddy Committee, and then I wanted to kind of expand it a little bit more because I realized when I had a company called Daddy Committee that a lot of my hats were selling more than a lot of the merch. Right. So I decided to just do really like hats for dads, but fly hats for dads, because I used to go to Target and Walmart when I first became a dad and see like these dad merch, and it was corny stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, dad is the best cook in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
number one dad.
Right. And I thought that I wanted to put a spin on dad merch and dad clothes and dad hats, so that literally, you know, dads like me that like to get fly can go buy that and get it and get fly while still repping that they're a dad. I mean, these are people that are proud to be dads that shop with us.
Right. You might want to come on. I'm trying to put together a Father's Day episode.
Come on. So, let's do it. I mean, I love being a father. I'm a father of two. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm a very present dad, and it's gonna remain that way because, you know, I've learned to balance my career and me being a dad, and I think me being a dad pushes me harder to be a person and an entrepreneur.
Right. I feel that. At Whose House Entertainment.
Yeah.
Right. So what's going on over there?
Whose House Entertainment, something we started about 7 years ago. Another thing with two of my other, you know, lifetime buddies I've known for a really long time. You know, obviously, I love music. I've made music. You know, music is in my family. It's in my blood. So I decided to start my own production company where we, you know, get artists, sign artists, and we help develop artists, and we try to just get them opportunities the best way we can.
Right.
And we've been doing pretty well. It hasn't become Def Jam yet like how we've wanted it to, but we're on our way. And I think that we're doing, amazing things with Who's House.
Right. So I clicked the link in your bio.
Talk to me.
And I saw Married Men Mondays.
Yeah.
I like that. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? What's going on Married Men Mondays?
So that's something I started with my cousin. Married Men Mondays is just something that I say, every Monday, let's go live on Instagram and let's just talk to married people, single people, people that want questions.
Right.
I've only been married 4 years. My cousin's been married about 8 years. So we're just giving our experience off of that time length. But really, it's a fun conversation we have. People love it. We're loving fathers and husbands, and obviously everybody goes through their issues in marriage, but we like to talk about it, work it out, and really just have fun with other people that want to ask us questions, or we may have a question for them.
Right. That's perfect, because all of what's happening in Conversation with Zoe right now is like right up my alley. You feel me? Like being vulnerable, telling the truth, working through things.
Right.
Like doing the healing and also finding the solutions. You know? I feel like one thing we don't talk about in our community enough is like conflict resolution. Like we know how to fight, we know how to argue, we know how to get riled up, we know how to punch under the belt, but like what's the solution? Feel me? Like how do we move past this?
I think a lot of people, and I had a good conversation with my guy the other day who's here, and he said something so important to me. It was, nobody's too big for a sorry, And I think a lot of people let their ego take over and their pride take over and realize that sometimes the person looking for the apology is the one that needs to apologize.
Right.
And I think a lot of things can be solved just through conversation and really just understanding the other person's point of view and agreeing to disagree sometimes. But that doesn't have to always end in violence, and it doesn't always have to end in, just fisticuffs.
Right. I feel that. Meet the Simmons. Right, what's going on Meet the Simmons?
So Meet the Simmons was really a YouTube page I started for my daughter.
Right.
A few years ago, she was like, Daddy, I want to start a YouTube, because, kids are always on YouTube. So my wife and I, we just decided to do a little family YouTube. We should be doing more videos, but I have such a busy life that I actually edit those videos myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we do want to get a team to help us with it, but it's just so much things are going on right now. And we also sometimes we limit how much we want to show of our kids, but we also still want to support our child's, goals, dreams, or whatever that she wants to do in a way that we can kind of monitor it.
Right. So I know we got a lot of versus talk going on.
Yeah.
Right? Jermaine Dupri or Diddy, a.k.a. Love. Who you got in that versus?
I think most people would think Diddy, right?
Right. Oh,
but I think Jermaine Dupri is going to shock the world. Because Jermaine Dupri has been around a really long time.
Right.
And he's got hits for days. I mean, he goes from, Mariah Carey to Bow Wow to just, so many different... Like, it's literally a plethora of different artists. And I'm not saying Diddy hasn't done that as well.
Right.
Because Diddy has hits. That boy got hits now.
Right.
But Jermaine Dupri got some heaters.
Right. So do you think we got to go 30, 40 songs?
They got to go like 50 songs.
50 songs, right? Yeah, it can't be 20. It
can't be 20. You got to realize that got to be like a 2-3 hour special.
Right.
Of just like 50 songs a piece.
Right.
Because think about how long they've been in the game.
Right.
They got 50 songs.
They got 50 songs.
Look, they still dropping.
Right.
I think JD just dropped a fire album with Currency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Diddy's still dropping. He just dropped a record with Bryson Tiller, right? So
right.
they still dropping.
Right. Usher or Chris Brown?
Wow.
Because that's in the versus talks right now, too.
Usher or Chris Brown? I'm going to have to go with songs-wise.
I mean,
wow.
They right there.
It's hard. It's hard for me to choose that.
Right.
I don't know. I can't pick that. But
okay. But
I think Usher's gonna go crazy though.
They're saying they're calling it more of a celebration kind of thing.
It's gonna be a celebration. They both deserve their flowers because at the end of the day, they both have pioneered the new age of R&B from when Usher started to now. Chris Brown came and kind of took the torch, and they still can coincide in the same lane, but succeed at the same time. So, name a verses you would like to see. A verses I would like to see. Or a couple. I mean, maybe you have some ideas. You know? I want to see Lil' Kim, Nicki Minaj. Okay. I think that'd be dope. I've heard that one being thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Run DMC, LL Cool J.
Okay.
Dang, and I want to see Lil Wayne. Who would Lil Wayne? See, Lil Wayne got to go against Jay-Z. But then we still want to see Jay-Z and Nas because of the history, right?
Jay-Z and Nas wouldn't.
But Lil Wayne, Jay-Z would be the biggest verses in the world.
I don't think Nas really stand a chance against Jay-Z.
Yeah, song for song, no.
Song for song, no.
But I'm from Queens, so
right.
It's hard for me to really say that Nas
right.
win. Nas is gonna win every time.
Right.
Right?
True.
But
that's true.
Realistically,
right.
A better matchup for Jay-Z is Lil Wayne.
Right. So who would Busta Rhymes go against? And
I was thinking about that the other day too, because I'm mad that Busta Rhymes hasn't gotten the opportunity to show his hits because he's gonna do something.
People feel like verses is something like you need to be like you need verses, right? But he doesn't need it, but we need it. You know what I'm saying? Because like that whole
Busta Rhymes verse.
Who would he go against?
Ludacris already went.
I think, all right. So
Ludacris went against Nelly, right? He beat Nelly.
Right.
I remember that.
Right.
Ludacris and Busta would have been crazy.
So that's one of my questions. Ludacris or Nelly?
Ludacris went crazy on Nelly. I mean, Nelly had a time.
Right.
But Luda's just different.
Right.
Like, I knew Luda was going to be Nelly, though.
Right.
Like, people don't understand. Nelly is a fire artist because he was different. But Luda is like a rapper, and he had them records, and he had vision. You feel what I'm saying? He was creative.
Right. So, what does hip hop mean to you?
Hip hop means everything to me. Hip hop is the reason I'm here, right? You know, I mean, hip hop has molded me just as much as my father has, because me growing up and experiencing my dad being who he is to seeing how hip hop has evolved is dope. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of them guys that I love the new music. I love the old music. I just love music.
Right.
And I love hip hop. So hip hop means everything to me. Like, hip hop is literally a part of my family. Like, literally, that's what it feels like. Like, without hip hop, a lot of these opportunities wouldn't have came my way, my family's way. And, you know, hip hop has provided a lot for my family and I.
Yeah. So, along with Reggie and Zach, he's in the rap group Team Blackout. So, what was that reign like? What was going on with Team Blackout?
Oh man, Team Blackout was a fun time because, to keep it real, it was a group that Zach and I had started in like 7th grade.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it was more or less like we had a group, and when we got to high school, because I went to St. Mary's in Manhasset, we had met Reggie, and I always had this like vision of my mind, if I have a group, it has to be a 3-man group like Run DMC.
Right.
So I was like, we added this third guy, and when Run's House came around, I had an opportunity to really do whatever I wanted, because I'm on TV, so like label deals, all this stuff is coming at me, because when you're like that hot, it's like getting endorsement deals, right? Like people are coming at you because you're on TV and you know, you're hot at the time. So I chose, because I could have got a solo deal at the time, and they were gonna develop me. But I had chose to take my 2 friends that I was like, yo, man, like, we gonna make it lit. And I got us signed on the show in an independent deal, and that's kind of how it was. We were just a group that started out of fun, rapping, and I decided to really take it far and be like, yo, let's actually go try to actually do this thing for real. Because it was just really a group that we made, and we were just rapping in the basement. We used to record on karaoke and recorded the tapes, me and Zach, you know what I mean? And then we upgraded to the garage band. Like, and I learned how to engineer Pro Tools, and I went to engineer school and all that. Like, so yeah, it was just really a group that we formed, and we just did some music, and we ended up getting a deal. We got an endorsement deal before we even got a record deal, which was crazy. Like, my favorite part about Team Blackout was, and a lot of people, they make fun of the music, and that's cool, but we made good money. And I was able to make my 2 friends money that weren't in an opportunity or a situation I'm from. So when we breaking down $25,000, $30,000 checks with 3 of us at 17, my friends are going home and able to get they parents dope Christmas gifts, and Zach's buying his mom Tiffany, and Reggie's putting away money for savings. Like, that was my favorite part about Blackout, was being able to give them an opportunity to really become what they envisioned as artists. And we might not have blew up, but I always had this motto. When people used to ask me, yo, do you have famous friends? I'd be like, no, I didn't grow up with them, but I'd like to make my friends famous.
Right.
Because it's better when you popping with the people you know instead of trying to attach yourself to people that are just in your field and you think you're supposed to be friends. Yeah, we can be cool, but I realistically didn't know none of these people.
Right. So that's good that you speak about your friends, because was it hard to make friends knowing that people knew who your family was?
Of course. A lot of my friends now are friends that were friends before the TV show.
The TV show, right?
Or before the TV show was like a big thing. The crazy thing was, when I was in St. Mary's, I used to lie to certain people, even like certain girls used to date, and they never knew who my dad was or anything, because you couldn't tell. Before TV, how could you tell whose son I am, right?
Right.
So I used to just tell them I tell them I'm normal, and I used to be fly, and girls would be like, how you get so fly? I say, yo, my pop's a sanitation worker, like he makes good money, I swear.
Right. That's just hilarious.
That's my story.
Right.
Then like 6 months into it, I'd be like, yeah, all right, cool. Like, I don't know if you heard of Run DMC, but my dad's Run from Run DMC. But that's after I would realize, they rocking with me for me. And that was with girls I used to do that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you know who's worse to watch out for? They say it's the girls. It's guys.
The guys.
The guys are the biggest opportunists and the biggest leeches that will be out here, because they'll just come and attach themselves to something wavy.
Right.
And then, like, I seen it firsthand. When things started to look downhill for me, a lot of people jumped ship. And that's life. But it was mainly the guys. You know what I mean? So it'd be wild.
Right. How often does your friend circle change? Or did it at the time?
Never. I've had a couple clowns come into the circle that we've gotten rid of.
Right.
But people that know me, that see me, and when they see me out and they see me with the same people, they're like, damn, you still rocking with me? Yeah, because we've stuck through it all. We've been solid. These are the people that have been solid. These are the people that have my back no matter how it went. You know what I'm saying? So literally, my same circle has been my circle. Like, the people I've started these companies with are high school and middle school friends.
Right.
Zach is my daughter's godfather.
Right.
Like, and I knew Zach since first grade. You know what I'm saying? And he's the light-skinned one in Team Black. I knew him in first grade. Knew Reggie since 9th grade. So all of these people are still in my circle, in my wedding. These are all the people that were in my wedding. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
Talk to us about high school, Jojo.
Oh, high school was crazy.
Right.
I mean, I went to 3 different high schools.
I saw that.
Yeah, I went to
Was that like moving around, or was that like...
No. So, all right. Jeez, we're going to get into that. Okay.
All right. Let's get to it.
So I went to 3 different high schools. So I'm coming out of 8th grade. My mother and my father, because, you know, my mother and father are not married. Like, Justine is my stepmother.
Right.
But I don't call her that. It's like a second mother to me.
Right.
But my mother and father have been divorced since I was probably like 3-4 years old.
Right.
And my father used to live in Queens. My mother still lives in Queens. So the commute used to be easy, you know, go to your dad's on weekends and 10, 15 minutes away. Literally after I graduated from 8th grade, he decides to move to New Jersey, which you see the house in Run's house is in Jersey, right? So he decides to move to Jersey. But I'm already committed to going to St. Mary's in Manhasset. Right. And he asked me, do you want to go to Jersey or stay with your mom? And of course, I'm a mama's boy, and I wanted to be in Queens. Who wants to move to Jersey from Queens, bro? Like, literally. So I stay, but I don't do good academically. Right. I'm doing stuff that I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm staying out late. I'm doing all this stuff that, you know, my dad didn't agree with. So I remember one day, you know, he calls and he's like, yo, I'm taking you out of that school and you're moving to Jersey. So I end up going to a school he put me in Jersey. I went to that school for the rest of my 9th grade year because I had left after the first semester in New York and came to Jersey. Finished the rest of my 9th grade year, did 10th grade year in that same school. Then I converted to another school because I wasn't doing good in the first school in Jersey, like the second year either. Like, I just started wilding, bro, because young and dumb and just doing stuff, right? So I go to this third school, and that was where I basically ended up graduating, which was Northern Highlands in Allendale, New Jersey. Right. Which was a dope school, no cap. It was a walk in the park compared to, like, New York. Like, New York was different. Jersey was, like, dope, like, really cool.
Right. So, watching yourself on TV, how would you perceive yourself?
I just was having fun.
Right.
Like, you got to realize when I was doing Run's House, I might have been 14, 15 when we started. Right. So that's a very vital part of a teenage life.
Formative years.
So I'm becoming myself, but then I have a microscope on me while I'm on TV. So I perceive myself as just me really not really understanding the moment and really just going on there and being a goofball and having fun, because when you're in it, it's not like when you're watching it.
Right.
You watching it like, and y'all always probably glorifying Run. So I was like, this is so cool. And it was cool, but I was living that actual life. Like I was still in high school filming. I'm going home from school to go film.
Right.
And I'm airing on Thursday nights and then going to school Friday morning. You know what I mean, bro? So it was like a very normal life during the week, and then I'm going to the mall and I'm shutting it down and there's 40 girls following me, no cap.
Right.
And then it's like a weird life on the weekend because I'm booking hostings and shows and doing all this other stuff. So I would perceive myself as just being myself. Like I was just having fun.
Right.
I was kicking it with my brothers and my sisters, and that was a real show. A lot of people don't understand with Run's House.
I liked it.
It was real.
Right.
It wasn't scripted. We didn't make up stories. All these things you guys were seeing really was happening in the household. Right. And we were probably giving it to you in a well-produced way.
Right.
But these were real stories that were going on in the house.
Right. Fun fact, my sister used to call me Rev Run.
Hi, why is that?
Because she used to always say I was preaching and stuff like that. But for me, once you learn the power of your words,
right,
and how to be intentional with what you say and what you do, I was like, you know what? People are paying attention to me, and I want to really use my words to put out positive things and put out a positive narrative and show love and give good perspective.
Right.
And he's like, oh, yeah, that's Rev Run. But then I showed her screenshots of people like, yo, I really needed to hear that. Yo, you know, I've been like, you've gotten me through so many days you don't even know. So it's like, we don't even notice the impact we're having in other people's lives, you know, such as things like 3isfor, you know what I'm saying? Giving people that platform, advocating for people, doing things like that. And you're doing more for people than you know. And it's something as simple as a Facebook status.
I mean, I've learned that being of service is the number one thing to do. Like my family has taught me that you give more than you get, pause. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, more blessings come when you bless others.
Amen.
And I've learned that. It took me a while to learn that, but I've learned it. Like when you bless others and you move with a good heart and you move intentional, you're gonna be blessed 10 times over.
Amen.
Like I truly believe that in everything in my life. Whenever I went through hard times, I wasn't thinking about other people. I was just thinking about myself or whatever. But when I started just being a blessing unto others, I started getting blessed. Just every which way possible.
So, we're going to do a little trivia here.
Come on.
Mecca or Fubu?
Fubu.
Fat Farm or Sean John?
Fat Farm.
Bad Boy or Rockefeller?
Rockefeller.
Dipset or G-Unit?
Dipset.
Murder Inc. or Interscope?
I can't answer that. I love Ja Rule and 50, bro. I know Ja, and I got love for Fifth. I can't answer that. 50 get mad or Ja Rule get mad or whatever.
Right. Something like, yeah. Next
we from Queens, both. I love them both, bro.
Right. Ashanti or Keisha Cole?
Keisha Cole. My wife knows I love the Keisha Cole.
The pain.
Sent from Heaven was my joint.
Right. Jagged Edge or 112?
Oh, geez. I want to say Jagged Edge, but I'm going to go with 112.
All right. Why 112?
I like their songs a little bit better. I just think they have some more, like, Jagged Edge got songs, but 112 got some, joints.
Right. Bow Wow or Romeo?
Bow Wow.
Ooh, quick.
Because, listen, I know Rome. I know them both.
Right.
But come on, man.
Come on now.
Rome had like 2 hits. I love Rome. Listen, I love you, Romeo. But Bow Wow had albums, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just puppy love.
And I know them both. I got love for both of them, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because we're growing up hip-hop. I used to always make that the joke, Bow Wow, Romeo, and they would be, I guess, I used to make it look like they was fighting over Angela, but it was more for the fun and the entertainment. And it's dope having them both. Like, it used to be dope really filming with both of them because that was a big thing to us growing up. It was always Bow Wow or Romeo. To be able to be in a room and to be joking around about that on camera was a cool experience.
Right. Pretty Ricky or B2K?
B2K.
B2K. Why B2K?
They had more records, they had more hits.
Right.
But Pretty Ricky, their records hit hard.
Yeah,
though,
they had some fun. they brought a whole different sound. I never knew they was from Florida either, but they brought a whole different sound and a feel.
Yeah, they brought that freaky shit for the women. You know what I'm saying? But B2K, you just can't deny how long their run was and what they did.
Right.
And don't get it twisted. Pretty Ricky, hats off to them too.
Right. They're no slouch for sure.
Hell no.
Power 105.1 or High 97.1?
Hot 97. But that's because I'm 33. I grew up on Hot 97.
Right.
But yeah, Hot 97. But Power 105 got, Charlamagne and them, they going crazy. But Hot 97. But Flex, man, let the record play.
Right. Favorite Run DMC song?
Down with the King.
Down with the King. All right. What does family mean to you?
Everything. Family means everything. I mean, family is literally what keeps me going. Right. Not only do I come from a great family, but I've created my own family now.
Amen.
And I think when you create a bond and you create a union is when everything becomes more clear in life. When you stop chasing everything else, the women, the everything else, and you really just chase that life of solitude, that life of peace with the right woman and have kids with the right woman, and she's the one that pushes you to become a better you, you will see how successful, I'm talking to the people. People will see how successful they will become if they was to just lock in. And I'm not saying if you don't go force a relationship, but if you know you have the right woman, take her serious, only take her serious, because chasing that other shit is irrelevant.
Right.
That money gonna come when you could just focus on family and finances.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I love that. And I feel like young black brothers, need to hear things like that. They need to see, two black men have certain conversations, and we're not here just talking about all the wild starlets and all the crazy.
Well, we were taught I'm sorry to say it, but we were taught the wrong way of how to
glorify that, right?
Yeah, we glorified. I wouldn't say fully disrespecting women, but we were taught that we were supposed to run it up, with women, right? And not really get to know them, and that's not the right way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many. It's deep, man. It goes far back, even with the hip hop community, bro. Like,
yes, sir.
The lyrics, all that, it plays a huge part in it. You know what I mean? But man, we were just taught the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like you said, it's important for young black dudes to understand that marriage is dope.
Right.
Being in love is dope. Not cheating is dope. Like, I'm so stress-free. Right. And I'm not saying in my life I haven't done wrong years ago. Right. As in, like, cheating. But, like, when I told myself, like, nah, bro, like, commitment is what is gonna happen. Right. Everything changed for me. Right. Like, who wants to be hiding their phone? Right. Who want to be bringing their phone in the bathroom when they shower? Right. That's a stressful life to me, bro. Like, I live with no stress. My wife has my passcode. Right. She could answer my phone. I live with no stress because I don't have the fear of getting caught. Right. That shit is whack. Right. To me.
I feel like, and you also waste a lot of energy.
And you wasting that other person's time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I tell people all the time, if you got a good woman and you're not ready to take her serious, get out her way. Let her go be with a man that's gonna really up her. Right. Let her be with a man that's really gonna upgrade what she already got going on. Don't play with no real woman. Mm-hmm. And the same thing with women. Don't play with no real man. Take these people serious that be taking life serious.
Right. So we're gonna go to Twitter.
Come on.
I found peace when I realized people are at war with themselves and not me. That's deep.
Yeah. I mean, probably another quote I saw, but something that's...
It relates. It relates.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that hurt people, right? So I used to let comments and things get to me for a really long time. And then when you really break it down and you think about none of these people know you, and they're really mad at whatever they're going through, so they're expressing that onto you within a comment or a bad vibe, you gotta realize that somebody that takes their time to say something bad to you or try to bring you down clearly is not in a good space. Right. Because successful people and people that are happy have no time to be hating on somebody that they feel are beneath them or below them, because nobody's beneath or below them, because when you're truly happy and you're truly successful, you wanna see that for other people. Unless you're just a bad person.
Right. Money and accomplishments mean nothing if you let your home fail.
Facts.
Powerful.
Facts. And that's what goes back to family. It goes back to saying what I feel about family. My biggest accomplishment is my family, is being married, is having my 2 children that I come home to, and my straight A student daughter and my son that's named after me and my father. It means the world to me. It pushes me every day. I'm not saying that every day is easy. I'm self-employed. I get this. I'm a hustler. But looking at my kids, I do whatever I gotta do to make sure that I take care of them. You know what I mean? And it means the world to me and I got that from my dad. My dad kept us as a tight-knit family. I'm tight with my siblings. I talk to Angela, Vanessa, Diggy, Russie. I talk to them all the time. Diggy just got off the phone with him 2 days ago.
Right.
So it's like we tight, and I got to keep my family the same way. I'm only following what I was already taught.
Right. This is good. Best advice that you've gotten from your father?
I probably said this one a lot, but it's so true. Don't let your happenings destroy your happiness. And it sticks with me because I used to let things around me and things that would happen that I can't control my emotions and control how I would feel.
Right.
But things that happen sometimes are uncontrollable.
Right.
But you can't let that control your happiness.
Right.
You got to just keep pushing with the tides. I know it's hard to stay happy when times look hard and adversity, but you just got to keep smiling.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, what you going to do anyway? You can't control
Right.
the situation. I always tell myself now, if it's something I can't control, it won't control me.
Right. Have you heard of the Serenity Prayer?
No, I haven't. Put me on.
So me and my girl say it. We alternate nights saying it. But the Serenity Prayer says, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Right.
So that plays in. So when I saw that and going on, expounding on what you said,
right,
it's like that reminds me of the Serenity Prayer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We all want the courage, to change what we can. You know what I'm saying? To accept it.
Right.
The wisdom to know the difference. You know, things of that nature.
For sure.
That's something simple that I feel like people could live with every day.
Right.
You know? I've never even missed a doctor's appointment for any of my kids. Please don't play with my character.
Well, that really came from growing up hip-hop. It was a storyline with my wife and I, and, editing makes it look a little different sometimes. So people were coming for me and saying I was less of a father than I really am. I take me being a father so serious. Like I'm there for my children whenever I can be. Like there's days where I may be gone for a week or months to film a show or do something, but when I'm there, I'm there. I drop my daughter off to school. I pick her up from school when I'm home. I do everything. Like literally, homework. I did homework today before I came to this interview. I picked her up, did homework with her, made her snack. Like I do this.
Right.
Just took my son to the trampoline park when she was in school. Like I'm a very present father, so I never want somebody to mistake me with one of them that ain't.
Right.
It's my number one job is being a dad.
Yes, sir. I feel it.
You a dad?
Yeah, I got a son.
How many you got? One?
I got one, Hendrix. He'll be 3.
How you feel about being a dad?
Man, to me, it's the most fulfilling thing ever. Hendrix is my world.
Isn't it?
My heart right there.
Bro, imagine when you have a daughter.
Right. Oh, man.
They look at you like superhero.
Right.
My first was a daughter.
Right.
And then my second was a son, which is the most amazing feeling in the world because I used to see people like you with a son and they doing fun stuff. I'm like, yeah, my daughter is fun, but a son has a different type of bop to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my daughter is she's got me wrapped,
yeah.
I'm like, she's got me say, I say yes to her for everything.
Right. How old are your kids?
7 and 1.
7 and 1. All right. Not that bad of an age gap. They're going.
I wasn't going to have another one.
Right.
And then we just fuck it.
Right. I feel you.
Wifey was looking good one night. I said, you know what?
Right.
It's time to have a boy.
Right.
She always laughs.
We need another Simmons around here.
Well, the crazy thing is, and she's going to hate that I tell a story, so, we were always planning on doing it. But she had this app thing that tells her when she's fertile or when she can have a boy, when she can have a girl. I don't know if you know about that, right?
I've heard about it.
So we get into it one night, and I think it was the girl thing, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm in there. And I whisper in her ear, I'm like, now or never. She laughs, it's a story. I'm like, it's now or never. And she's like, oh my God, you're crazy. We're gonna have a girl. And then when it ended up being a boy, I said, I told you it was now or never. I knew that Joey was in that clip. I knew Joey was coming out. I said, listen, I know this is him. This is him.
This is him.
This is him. This is him right here.
Simmons.
Him Simmons. You feel me?
Him Simmons.
Him Simmons.
I love it, man. Oh, man. So this is good because you were mentioning narratives, growing up hip-hop, how things could be portrayed. And one of your tweets said, growing up hip-hop is becoming too much of a dramatic show.
Yeah.
I asked all my castmates and myself to use our voices and our actions and show ourselves in a better light. Hashtag GUHH.
Yeah, I mean, this was around the time where I felt like a lot of arguments and fights were happening on growing up hip-hop. And this is not a shot at loving hip-hop, but they've made, you know, a career and ratings off of a lot of drama,
right,
which is cool. We watch it. We all watch it. We love it.
Right.
But when I first came on growing up hip-hop, I came on for the comedic relief. This is what my sister called me for. Like, she literally got me from under my rock, Angela. She was like, yo, we need more males on the show and we need funny. I told the producers, you're the guy, right? So I come on growing up hip-hop as like just a walk-on, really. And then, like, I killed it, right? Because I'm just like, I'm going on there with every joke I possibly have. I'm joking on Romeo. I'm joking on Angela. I'm joking on everybody, right? So I came on and it was such a fun experience. Then we started getting different characters and more characters, and I'm starting to see more arguments and fights and people throwing, you know, liquor and people really getting into it. And I remember watching the show one day and just realizing that it took a turn for the worse. It just wasn't what my sister envisioned as a show, because, you know, she's an executive producer, and we want to show kids from our lineage the successful things we're doing. Like, Cree is a successful party promoter, and that's Uncle Luke's daughter. And Little Twist, he's dope. He's got a lot of stuff going on. And Little Eazy-E, who's one of my best friends, he's got so many things going on. And not all the time did the show cover the successful things we're doing. Like, they would cover events, but then like a fight or something will happen, and it's like it would ruin the event. And it's like, it's almost like I felt like that's what they were looking for. So it always goes back to, because I'm a thinker, I'm like, well, they can't show what we don't give, right? So like, yeah, you can be like, oh, the editing or this, but bro, if we don't argue and if we don't disrespect each other, then they can't show it, and then they just showing straight positivity. So when I did that tweet, that was the mindset I was in. The mindset I was in was like, yo, let's give the people something better. Like, this drama stuff is cool. People watching it, cool, fun, ha ha ha, entertainment, dope. But let's show the people how we flourishing out here. Young black adults flourishing from the lineage that our parents started. And we're taking those legacies and we branching off and doing things like how I'm doing 3isfor. My family has never did business in cannabis. I'm the first out of my family to do business in cannabis and really get things going. So these are the things I want to cover. I don't want to cover that I'm mad at you for saying this about me, because it's like what Dame Dash said. Now I agree. That's bubblegum shit. Let's get to the money. But let's get to the money on positivity.
Amen. I'm with that. So you've spoken a little bit about this, but learned the value of a good woman at a young age.
I'm about to get the iced tea.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Learning the value of a good woman at a young age is important. I say that because I've been with my wife 14 years, like 2 days ago. But married, we'll be married 4 years in October. And she's been the driving force to the change in the man that I've became. Because I think it's important having a woman that will let you be you, but also let you know when you're not being the best you. And that's what Tanise has been for me. So I was, you know, chilling one day, and, you know, you start sitting there realizing how long you and your woman came, and you're like, damn, like, me knowing the value of a good woman is obviously through my mother and my sisters and just my, you know, just learning. But it's like I ended up with the right person. And I think that all men, like we said about earlier, need the right woman in their corner. I mean, the right woman in their corner will make you become the best version of yourself. And once again, I don't want to ever say that a woman is gonna be the reason why you're gonna be successful. That's not necessarily true for everybody. But when you do have one, if she's pushing you to be the best version of yourself, marry that woman. Marry that woman, man. Marry that woman.
I'm here for that. So this is good, because you piss a lot of people off when you start doing what's best for you.
Yeah. I mean, because people get pissed off when you stop. People get pissed off when you start ignoring what they're saying about what you got going on. Because it doesn't matter. I've learned to have tunnel fucking vision. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like I said earlier, I used to let things affect me. I used to just discourage me, but I use it for motivation now. Because I'm like, if they talking about me, I'm doing something.
That's a fact.
Because if once they stop talking about you, you ain't doing nothing.
Right.
If they talking about you, you're doing something.
Right.
So I think you start pissing people off when you just start doing you. When you just start moving the way you move, moving on your own bop. Like, I don't care what you think of me. I tell people to unapologetically be themselves. And don't follow no waves, create your own wave. What my dad always used to tell me growing up was, don't go to the party if you're not invited. Start the party and they gonna come to it.
That's a fact. Like my guy Fresher said, greatness doesn't need approval.
It doesn't. Only by yourself.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Greatness only needs approval by yourself. And don't let somebody deter your vision, because it's your vision.
That's a fact.
Like, nobody has your eyes. Nobody has your vision. Nobody has your mind. So you're the only one that can see that vision sometimes. Don't never let somebody else that doesn't even really chase anything tell you not to chase your vision.
And that's true, because God put it in your mind.
Right.
And what's for you is for you.
What's for you is for you.
Nobody could deter you from that. So you don't have to worry about, you don't have to wait for everybody to approve your vision.
Right.
Like, Conversation with Zoe is 5 years old and change.
Congrats.
And nobody was thinking how I was thinking, and I was looking to like, yo, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And instead I was like, yo, I'm going to follow my heart.
Right.
I'm going to follow what's on my spirit. I'm just going to keep going. So 140 episodes later.
There you go. You rocking. You
Rocking.
getting big names too, man.
Come on, man.
Getting
like,
big names.
God is the plug. I'm gonna give all glory to God.
You have to.
Saying can't say I'm moving on my own. You know, He put the battery in my back. But real recognize real at the end of the day. And I know that from the space, from the opinions that actually do matter, as far as the people moving and shaking, that can impact society and impact our community, like as you can.
Appreciate that.
That's an opinion that matters to me.
Yeah.
That other dude over there, that opinion don't matter, because he's not affecting the community.
Right.
He doesn't have a positive impact or influence. So that I don't worry about that opinion.
Right.
Because the opinion that matters is someone that can actually do something for the community.
Right.
Have impact.
Yeah.
I mean, have a positive influence. And I know that positivity takes time, but it's gonna win in the end. And I know we shook up that algorithm real good, because it took some time to pushing us out. Things weren't happening, shadow ban, all of these things, but you can't push it out forever, because people are catching on. People are
like, catching on regardless.
Good things are going on.
I get shadow banned for doing cannabis content now, putting it on my page. And that's okay, because you can only be shadow banned for so long, because once the people really see it and they want to come to it, they're going to come to it. What you going to shadow ban people coming to support something they want to see?
Right. You know what I'm saying? We got a Simmons in the building.
Much love, man. I appreciate you, brother. For sure. This has been a good conversation.
No, thank you so much, man.
I like your interview style. You know what you're doing, man. You do your research.
No, thank you so much. I mean, being intentional, you know, being in your purpose.
What I'm about.
And I told you, man, I want this. You here now, but I want this to be something that you're proud of, like something that you go back and you put it on, like, damn, we did that, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
and your kids are gonna see this someday too. So, you know, even that, like, damn, like, Dad was really talking his talk that day.
I mean, I'm happy to come talk, and you're the man. Like, this has been dope, and the conversation has been just feel like a laid back conversation.
Right, I appreciate that. We got a little more left.
Come on, let's do it.
So, what are some things that you hear about yourself on TV? That are like you would say are misconceptions?
I used to hear a lot, and I think I hear it less now, but I used to hear a lot that I was like super cocky.
Right.
And I was a super confident kid, and I always was like that. It wasn't because my dad was run or I had money. It was more or less, I'm just a confident kid. That's just always how I've been. But I think a lot of people used to meet me and be like, yo, like, still, like, yo, you are like super down to earth. And I hate when people call themselves down to earth, but that's what I hear all the time is like, yo, bro, you're probably the most down to earth Simmons, even though they've probably never met the other ones. But I'm pretty cool, I'm a man of the people, bro. Like, I'll be in Queens, I'll be in the Bronx, I'll be in Brooklyn, I'll be in Harlem. I know people in all these boroughs because I've made it a thing for me growing up was to really be in touch with the people and the people that matter and the people that are outside. You know what I mean? Because I think connections are worth more than money. Right. You know what I mean? Knowing people, if you know people, you always have an opportunity to do something.
Right. So, to sum up your experience on Run's, how would you sum up your experience on Run's house?
An amazing experience. It was an amazing experience. Imagine being a teenager in high school on TV. Your life obviously turns into a whole different world,
Right.
but it was a dope experience. You know what I mean? Like, it took me a while to catch on to what was really happening.
Right.
Because you got to realize when MTV first picked us up, they only gave us 6 episodes.
Right.
Because they probably didn't believe that this black family was going to be such a huge deal.
Right.
And we killed it the first season, and then we ended up signing for mad seasons. I think we ended up doing, 6 seasons?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think that it was a great experience, and I think that it gives me and gave me opportunities to still be doing what I'm doing now. Like, there's some people that do reality TV and they get forgotten about. I feel like the Simmons, we've never gotten forgotten about. Like, we're able to come back with Growing Up Hip Hop and still be successful. That's in his 6th season.
Right.
Like, we came back and did that. I mean, it might be in the 7th. I don't even know. I lost count. I came in on the 4th.
Right.
But I think it's opened up so many doors for my siblings and myself that without Run's house, it will be hard for us to really, like, maneuver through the entertainment business because it's over now. Like, we got famous faces. I can't go work at a regular job. You know what I mean? When times ever get hard, I got to figure it out.
Right.
But because my dad is the plug, I call him, he gave us all the platform to make money. Go take your face card, go make some money.
Right. So, you ended up going on Growing Up Hip Hop. You're still currently on it. Summarize your experience thus far.
Growing Up Hip Hop is fun. Like I said, there's some negativity to it, but it's fun because I'm still working with 2 of my sisters, Vanessa and Angela, so that makes it fun. I'm working with one of my best friends in the industry, Little Easy E.
Right.
That's like my dog. Like, I talked to him last week, FaceTime, we talk.
Right.
It's my guy. Little Twist, knew him since he was a child. Like, him and Diggy were close growing up. So it's like a lot of these people on the show I knew and I know. So it's a fun time. We have fun. We have a lot of fun shooting that show.
Right.
You know, a lot of beef and drama happens, and I've been in a couple bullshits, but I've learned through time, I was like, man, I'm done, like, being mad if somebody says something about me or having to press them about it and be the realest nigga in the room.
Right.
Man, fuck all that. Let's get a bag. Let's have fun. Let's chill. Let's do what we do. Like, Growing Up Hip Hop is fun, man. We have a lot of fun times there, and it's shot in L.A., so I'm able to go to L.A. for months at a time and just be out there.
I got to go to L.A. and get some of the cast on the podcast.
Come on. Whenever you need.
They have this studio in L.A.
Whoever you need, let me know. I mean, Angela and Vanessa are a little bit harder, big dog. But
I mean, listen,
I might be able to work
interview would be crazy.
But let me know. Give me a name. Give me the list.
For a fact,
talk to you.
The name of their they used to have something
Pastry.
Pastry, right? Yeah, my girl was talking to me about it this morning. You know what I'm saying?
That was a huge deal. But that goes back to me telling you that Run's house days, we just had opportunities to do what we wanted.
Right.
So that goes back to, they had pastries, I had Team Blackout.
Right.
Those were our opportunities. What do you guys want to do? We want to do fashion. They came up with pastries and killed it.
Right.
I had Team Blackout. We made a couple $, but we were able to go on, like, shows and get flown out and make money. So that was the opportunity. It's like when they say strike when the iron's hot, that's literally what you got to do, is like, yo, do everything you can.
Absolutely. So I have three more questions.
Yeah, take your time.
What advice would you give a first-year married couple?
See, it's different for me because I was with my wife 10 years before we got married.
Right.
So we went through a lot of the getting to know each other, ups and downs, trials and tribulations. First year of marriage is almost going to feel like the honeymoon stage.
Right.
Try to keep that feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people I've seen, like, the divorce rate is crazy because most people only stay married for like a year to 3 years.
Right.
And people giving up too quick.
Right.
People, you're giving up too easy on people.
Right.
We in a generation where people want an instant success, no matter if it's in their company or in their relationship. They want a microwavable relationship where it's like, everything is perfect, we're gonna get married and everything's gonna be all good. And then when stuff doesn't go their way, they wanna rip it all up and start all over.
Right.
That's not how you're supposed to do things.
Right.
Get with somebody that you really believe is for you, and you might not be the same person. That's the object of relationships, but somebody that you have a like-minded kind of ideology with,
Right.
and get with that person and be with that person and stick it out with that person. Stop giving up on people so easily.
Right.
I argue with my wife. We all argue with our significant others, right? But if we were to just break up after every argument, there would be no reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, arguments are normal. Like, those are normal things to have. But as long as you can come back and have a reasonable conversation about what the argument was about,
Right.
because I look at it like this: if you can give up that easy on a person, you never love them.
Right.
Because love is not easy, and love doesn't give up easy.
Amen. Message to your younger self.
Oh, a message to my younger self?
Yes.
I wish I would have told myself to take it more serious. I think I would have, my mindset now, and I know everybody says that, is so much more better than it was as a child. Obviously it is, I'm 33. But
Right.
I wish I would have understood the opportunity more.
Right.
I wish I would have striked a little bit more while the iron was hot. I wish I would have built my brand up
Right.
to the point where right now I wouldn't have to be still building it.
Right.
And that's okay. I like doing it. I love the grind. I love the hustle. But I look at YouTube, I look at all that stuff. All that stuff was fresh when I was on Run South days. And imagine if I would have just been sticking to what I'm doing now, which is doing content and just doing everything I can. I wish I would have took more opportunity. You know what I mean? I think that, and I don't say this much, but with Run South, it was hard for me to be a teenager.
Right.
So when every chance I got, I was being a teenager.
Right.
Whether that was smoking weed with my friends and going to the mall and doing all that, I was doing a lot of that instead of focusing on my brand. And I wish I would have sacrificed that for focusing on my brand to be able to do all that now.
Right.
But that's life.
Yeah. I mean, I think you had to have, I think at a young age, you were trying to find your own balance, your own like sanity, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Try to decompress.
And that plays a lot into my mental health.
Right.
Me growing up plays into into my mental health. Me being ostracized a lot after Run South, all the bullshit rumors about me and the stories and the things I used to get put into, it just started feeling like the world was beating on me.
Right.
And that played into a lot of my mental health. And that's why I advocate for it. Because I've had, those depression thoughts. I've had those thoughts in my mind years ago. And that's why I tell you it's important for us to talk to people. Even this conversation is important because I'm vulnerable to talk to you about it because I don't care. I don't feel fear when I'm talking about mental health because it's important. We should be able to talk about mental health like we talk about sports.
Yes, sir. Message to the youth.
Have fun, but focus up. My message to the youth is like, educate yourself. Look for the knowledge.
Yes, sir.
What I realized is, growing up, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have a lot of this stuff, right?
No.
So a lot of this wisdom and knowledge that's out here, we didn't have access to unless we went and researched and looked for it.
Yes, sir.
I be on Instagram and these pages are teaching people about finances and these pages are teaching people about credit and how to get houses. Please, I'm telling the youth to take advantage of the knowledge that is accessible to you in front of your face.
Right there.
It's right there.
Right.
Use it. Just as well as you could watch a music video, just as well as you could watch Shorty twerk, go watch some educational shit.
Right.
Because it's gonna help you in the future. The stuff I know now, boy, I'd have been a beast if I knew any of this stuff back in the day, man. So use the knowledge that's accessible to you.
Right. So, what do you want to shout out? What do you want to put out there? Where can we find you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to shout out, my company 3isfor. That's 3isfor on Instagram. I want to shout out whoshousent Entertainment. Obviously, we spoke about my production company.
Right.
And, I really just, shout out to everybody that's been supporting the Simmons family for this long and still supporting us. And, we got love for you like you got love for us. I'm at Jojo_Simmons on Instagram and at real Jojo Simmons on Twitter. I mean, that's really it.
Right, man. So make sure everybody likes, subscribe, comment. Definitely shout out to my softball team. We doing positive thing.
Yeah.
Hood fellas doing great things. And we here, we out. See you soon. Peace and love, world. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, support the channel, show your love. You know what I'm saying? We having great conversation week in and week out. You never know who's coming. You never know what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, it's all about peace and love. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.